If he wants to make some money, Floyd want to make some money. If he wants to make some money, he could fight
your guy Jake Paul.
No, well, him too, but he could fight the guy, not Manny Pacquiao. Manny won't fight him again. But I'm talking about not Canelo, Crawford.
Oh, Terrence Crawford.
You can't force Usyk to fight anybody. You can't force anyone to fight anybody. You know, the will has to be on Usyk's side.
Can you miss? And because his range control is so good, he's in. His nickname's the cat. He's in like a cat, and he is so accurate with what he's doing. He makes you miss, he makes you pay. That's the art of the sweet science. It is the art of getting hit.
Mike Tyson didn't hold back when discussing a hypothetical matchup between Floyd Mayweather and Oleksandr Usyk. Speaking on Shaquille O'Neal's podcast, Tyson said flat out that Usyk would destroy Mayweather if they ever stepped in the ring. He criticized Floyd for earning heavyweight-level paychecks without ever facing true heavyweight danger. According to Tyson, if Mayweather ever returns, it'll be for a payday on a real challenge. And fighters like Usyk, Tyson believes, Floyd wouldn't dare get near them.
With heavyweight.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, Floyd feels like in a different category completely.
He made heavyweight money, but I'm talking about the heavyweight slugger.
Yes. I don't know if we're ever going to get to the heavyweights again.
Huh?
Speaking of Floyd.
No, that's going to come back again. Always come back.
Speaking of Floyd, him and Roy Jones been going back and forth. If they were to fight, give me your opinion on who you think would win and why. And would people want to see that fight now?
Well, listen, people are all going to hate on Floyd, so they will want to see the fight. They want to see Floyd get beat. But are they going to fight?
I know they're going back and forth.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they would matter. If he wants to make some money, Floyd want to make some money. If he wants to make some money, he could fight
your guy Jake Paul.
No, well, him too, but he could fight the guy, not Manny Pacquiao. Manny won't fight him again. But I'm talking
Canelo?
Not Canelo, Crawford.
Oh, Terrence Crawford.
At this stage in his career, Oleksandr Usyk no longer needs to prove anything. With an Olympic gold medal and multiple victories over elite opponents, including 2 wins against Anthony Joshua, Usyk's legacy is already secure. He's earned the right to step away whenever he chooses. Yet, speculation continues to swirl around who might share the ring with him next.
Which he doesn't have to do, probably, because his legacy is secured. He's done basically everything in boxing. And if he was to retire tomorrow, or what could happen, which has been muted, that he was going to have the Dubois fight and then he was going to have a celebrity fight, you know, like crossover fight with an ex-MMA or something like that, which for me wouldn't be nice, because I think it would cheapen his legacy in some way. But as Addy said, pounds and pence and dollars are what count in this game.
Andy, have you spoken, or has Spencer Brown or Frank spoken to you? Because to be fair to Frank, I've spoken to Frank twice since the fight, and he does always say, it's Joseph Parker next. It's Joseph Parker next. And he says it with a bit of force as well, as though he's promised you guys that you will be next in line. Has there been a conversation with Frank as to what happens with Joseph? Because I almost feel sorry for Joseph now. It's got to the stage where every time I see Joseph, I'm like, okay, look, when are you going to fight? When are you going to fight? And he has this face of, I don't know. And it's upsetting for me as well, just to see him on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's very frustrating for him and for us as a team. But I had a brief conversation with Frank Warren as we were walking back from the ring. I said, it has to be Joe. And he said, we're going to push for Joseph. And Spencer Brown, he said, we're going to push for Joseph. David Higgins, we're going to push for Joseph. But you can't force Usyk to fight anybody. You can't force anyone to fight anybody. You know, the will has to be on Usyk's side.
Joseph Parker has emerged as one of the potential names being floated, though nothing official has been announced. Several top heavyweights have voiced interest in facing Usyk, but the intrigue deepened when Usyk recently stated he likely has only one fight left in him. That single comment has thrown the boxing world into a frenzy, heightening the anticipation around his next and possibly final opponent.
The will has to be on Usyk's side. The will for Joe is there. He'll fight anybody, and as he's shown. But the will has to be, and the want has to be on Usyk's team.
Put your fighter hat on for me if you can, Andy. Again, I mean, I saw. It's funny because the video of Dubois getting knocked out, there's you and Joe in the background, and I can see both of your reactions. When you're watching that, I mean, again, you've seen some of the best heavyweights in the world. You've been in camp with some of the best heavyweights in the world. When you're watching that, are you watching it like myself and thinking, okay, this is an all-time great you're seeing?
First and foremost, I watched it as a fan and I enjoyed the fight. And I thought Dubois started really well. But there's something about Usyk, isn't it? And just this change after round one, round two, Dubois was having some success, landing right hands.
Usyk has never been one to dodge challenges or play the promotional waiting game. He's earned universal respect not just for his talent, but for his no-nonsense approach to fighting. While many boxers get bogged down in drawn-out negotiations and media theatrics, Usyk is known for cutting through the noise. Once a deal is made, he simply goes to work. His straightforward mindset and willingness to face any opponent have made him one of boxing's most admired figures by fans, fighters, and promoters alike.
One thing I would say that we have to appreciate from Usyk is how he's so willingly down to fight anybody, right? Typically in boxing, you look at how boxing is structured. You have the Ali Act where a fighter could be like, nah, I don't want to fight him. Okay, well, we're going to strip you of your belt since you don't want to, defend that belt, right? How long does it take us to get a Gervonta Davis to fight, maybe a Devin Haney, or a Ryan Garcia fighting somebody else, right? It takes fucking forever. But now when it comes to Usyk, Usyk, he's a champion. Okay, your next title, person you have to defend against is Dubois. Perfect. Send me the contract. I will be ready. Yeah. You don't get that nowadays in boxing. You don't fucking get that. But when he fights, that's one thing I love about him. Mm-hmm.
Just beating Daniel Dubois in a rematch, the younger guy, and he's made it look easier against him and schooled him and destroyed him. That is the pinnacle of skill in boxing. That's the pinnacle of the fucking sport.
Becoming a 3-time undisputed champion across multiple weight classes doesn't happen by luck. It's the result of skill, evolution, and relentless drive. Oleksandr Usyk's rise from cruiserweight to heavyweight wasn't just about adding size. It was about adapting, growing, and proving he could outclass the biggest names in the sport. His consecutive wins over Anthony Joshua showcased not only his technical brilliance, but his ability to dismantle physically larger opponents with strategy and heart. Usyk's story extends far beyond the ring. He paused his career to serve his country during wartime, a decision that speaks volumes about his character. He represents not just elite athleticism, but discipline, courage, and honor. As a result, analysts are now placing Usyk in the same league as Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. While their paths and weight classes differ, the respect Usyk commands is on par. His mastery reminds fans of Floyd's precision and ring IQ, while his fearless spirit echoes Manny's relentless heart. Remaining undefeated across divisions only adds to his key. Usyk is not just a champion of his time. He's cementing his place among boxing's all-time greats.
How high is Oleksandr Usyk all-time on the GOAT list? I've seen a lot of debate that he's top 5 already, top 10, shouldn't be in the top 10 yet. So here's my thoughts on it. I think you can put him anywhere from like number 4 to number 10 all time, but he should definitely be in everyone's top 10. 2-division undisputed champion at cruiserweight and heavyweight, and he probably has the 2 best undisputed runs of the 4-belt era. At cruiserweight, he beat everyone in enemy territory. Glowacki in Poland, Briedis in Latvia, Gassiv in Russia, Bellew in the UK. At heavyweight, he beat all the Brits, mostly on enemy territory twice. Joshua twice, Fury twice, Dubois twice. Of that post-Mayweather Pacquiao era, I think he's definitely the greatest. Now, I have Usyk number 8. For reference, I have Floyd 1, Manny 2, Ali 3, Robinson 4, Duran 5, Leonard 6, Roy Jones 7, and then Usyk at 8. I know there's a whole debate right now about Usyk and Ali. Of course, Usyk's more skilled than Ali, but I think Ali's resume is greater, which is why I have him higher. But I'm curious to know how high people have Usyk now all time, without recency bias.
Floyd Mayweather's career has been built on calculated moves, both inside and outside the ring. Analysts widely agree that Floyd's return to boxing has always been tied to the right balance of high reward and low risk. Known for his meticulous approach, Floyd studies every opponent and scenario before agreeing to a fight. His strategy is simple: protect the undefeated record, control the narrative, and maximize the paycheck. While this method has earned him record-breaking earnings and undeniable fame, it also makes one thing clear: Floyd is unlikely to risk everything in a truly dangerous matchup unless he holds the cards, picks the opponent, and secures full control over the terms. A return is unlikely to involve real threats. In short, if the money's right and the risk is manageable, Floyd will show up, but don't expect him to stand across from a fighter like Usyk.
You're fighting the best fighter in the world.
Yeah.
And you're figuring out a strategy of not how do I win, but how do I last?
Yeah. And that was the strategy. I had a good idea that I wasn't going to be able to knock him out.
No, but that's not the goal with a guy like that. No, but Floyd is the most precise and Floyd doesn't care who watches, who likes. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Floyd only cares about the points. Yeah. If the fight is entertaining, it's for him, it's just a strategy. Yeah. So he's kind of like the beast of fighting. Beast is like, how do I get the algorithm and the numbers?
100%.
That's how Floyd is.
Do you think he's you think he's the greatest? One of the greatest
Every
ever?
great fighter in the world says technically there's nobody better.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan has long admired Floyd Mayweather's defensive mastery. On his podcast, Rogan described how Floyd can stand directly in front of an opponent and still remain virtually untouchable. There's no need for flashy footwork or wild counters, razor-sharp timing, flawless shoulder rolls, and subtle head movement. Mayweather's ability to frustrate opponents into making mistakes is what sets him apart. Rogan emphasized that even when Floyd appears inactive, he's actually dictating the pace and psychology of the fight. His defense isn't just physical, mental warfare. And when it comes to footwork, Usyk brings a different kind of brilliance to the ring.
All like slight slips away, and it's slight motions, which is all you need to get away from a punch, right? You don't want to move too far. You're wasting a lot of energy and you can't counterattack. One of the best things about Floyd and one of the most brilliant things about him, he's one of the most elusive fighters of all time, but he didn't move around. He stood right in front of you and you couldn't fucking hit him. That's true mastery of space and true mastery of technique. In my opinion, he's the best boxer that's ever lived.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not qualified to rank people, but I watched when he was making that ascent towards it. Ended up being 50,
He just fought last weekend. This weekend, yeah, he fought a match against John Gotti's grandson, which is crazy.
That's scary for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons, right? But this is the second time they fought. The first time they fought, it ended in a brawl. Like a bunch of people jumped in the ring. It was crazy because they stopped the fight because they were talking too much shit to each other and holding on to each other too much. So the referee stopped the fight for whatever reason, I don't know. And in this fight was even crazy too because the first referee was terrible. And the referee said Floyd Mayweather hit him behind the head. Absolutely incorrect call. Floyd threw a right hand and it caught him on the side of the head, and the referee claimed that it was behind the head. So Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. He stops the bout. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here! Get out of here!"
Because he's the promoter, also.
Well, I guess. I mean, also it's Floyd Mayweather. Like, what's the referee gonna do? Fuck you? I'm gonna stop the fight. Like, also they're in Mexico City. Like, you could get killed. Like, just get out of the ring, buddy. So Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100%.
Commentator Adam Catterall once compared Usyk's movement to ballyand. Surprisingly, the comparison fits. Usyk glides across the canvas with such grace and balance that he often makes elite fighters look stiff by comparison. Constantly shifting angles while maintaining perfect rhythm, he controls the ring with an elegance that defies heavyweight norms. His pacing is deliberate, his movement deceptive, he's quick without rushing, aggressive without being reckless. Against opponents who rely on brute strength over agility, Usyk's control and finesse create a gap that power alone can't close.